Those of you who are watching us from all over the world, either on regular TV or on the portable TV app, we're so glad that you're there. We're glad you've joined us. Two countries, both adversaries of the United States, have decided to push back against Uncle Sam today. Essentially, Iran and Venezuela are telling the U.S. State Department and the Trump White House, go ahead, try and stop us if you can. Take a look at this video. Watch this. See this? What you're seeing right there is an oil tanker from Iran in open waters heading for Venezuela. And as you can see in the video, it's being escorted by a Venezuelan naval warship. You're going to see that just as we pull out here. Hold on. There it is. See it right there? Now, why would an oil tanker need to be escorted by a gunship, right? And the reason is this. The United States has threatened to stop the tankers from reaching Venezuela, a country where citizens are waiting in line for hours because there's a shortage of fuel. So let me show you a map of what we're talking about that's taking place here. Here's a map of 5 ships that are making their way all the way from over here in Iran to Venezuela. And the first 2 ships, by the way, the Fortune and the Forest, they've already arrived in Venezuela. And the remaining ships, that's the Petunia, the Faxon, and the Clavel, sorry. All 3 of those are still in mid-ocean. They're following behind. They could arrive today. They could arrive tomorrow, unless the United States makes good on its promise or its threat to stop them. But as we look at this map depicting essentially more than half of the world, amazingly, we look at a journey that's long and arduous to get refined fuel and chemicals from Iran all the way to Venezuela. So we're left with this question, why? Right? Why would they do that? Venezuela has more oil than just about any country in the world. Some of the most oil reserves in the world. Why do they need fuel from all the way over here? So we called on the Venezuelan ambassador, and I asked him that question, and here's how he responded.
The Trump administration has threatened and coerced and scared away almost every single international corporation from Venezuela. So they are scared to sell us any kind of equipment, any kind of spare parts to work in our oil industry. So we are now not just buying fuel, we are buying chemical components to start up again our refinery. So we will be able to refine our own fuel from now on.
So it comes down to, as you heard him say, being able to refine the oil, right? In other words, you can have all the oil in the world, but if you can't turn it into usable fuel, there's little that you can do with it, right? Venezuela's refinery capabilities have collapsed. And while the United States and its interference and its sanctions that are aimed clearly at destroying the Venezuelan economy is undeniable, critics of the Maduro government also point out that they deserve some blame because the country's state oil company has mismanaged and underinvested to make sure they could continue to refine. So look, regardless of the reason for this, Venezuela needs fuel. And Iran, like the rest of the world's oil producers, has too much of it on their hands. And that's why the 2 countries have worked out this deal, a deal the United States is threatening to quash. So here's the question. As we look at this tanker surrounded by the naval vessel, just how far will it go, the United States, in this high-stakes game of chicken that is being played out in international waters between 3 countries who sooner or later seem destined for some kind of showdown? This is The News with Rick Sanchez, where we drill down on stories like this that many in the...
All right. Just want to say that's starting to make Trump look like a little bit of a punk. See, they're saying that they're sending over food and stuff. They're over here sending food to Venezuela. So the sanctions and stuff, they ain't working. But that's cool. You know, it seemed like more people was coming up against the U.S. So, and you got to think about it like this. If Iran's sending this stuff there, Putin's backing up Iran. He's got to be backing Iran. So, I'm pretty sure they're sending more than just food there. I'm pretty sure there's weapons and all kinds of things for missiles and all kinds of stuff also being sent. Because they said chemicals. They didn't say what kind of chemicals. They said chemicals to help refinery. Well, guess what? Refineries and stuff, they blow up. So therefore, there must be chemicals to make weapons as well. So, with that said, you just see that nobody's. I mean, the times of war. We're on the times of war. You know, Trump even said right now, nothing bad has ever come from having a meeting. But I was reading this, and Trump says he turned down the meetings. You know, so where's it at? The cinnamon smells good. Got the cinnamon incense burning. Smell good. That mixture of that cinnamon and that sage. Yeah, Trump doesn't respect the other guy, so the dumbest human on earth for presently supporting the Iraq war. That ain't it. And this ain't even just affecting them. This is affecting Mexico as well. Where was I reading that? Or something where it's like it's not just affecting them; it's affecting Mexico. Iran ships regular gasoline cargo. It's more than that, man. I just read something about Mexico. See, it's weird because this picture's from 2 weeks ago, and then they use it again for 7 hours ago. You see what? So stuff, you know, you can't really trust everything. Okay? So stuff has happened a while back too. That's what it says. Iran oil tankers reached Venezuela in defiance of the U.S. This says 4 weeks ago. How does this say 7 hours ago? So what is it? Is it 4 weeks ago? Is it 7 hours ago? Is it 3 weeks ago? Is it 3 days ago? Let's see. Oh, this is saying 3 weeks. Either way, still. This shit happening. Trump's trying to say he's got these sanctions. Ain't nobody listening. Trump ain't getting nobody's listening nowhere. They're not listening. Outside the USA, they're not listening. Inside the USA, they're making their own cities. Same shit.